Welcome back to another day in the life of the developer. Today I'm going to walk you through my entire day, the projects I have. We'll stop by Fircrest, which has progressed a lot since the last video. And then I've got a couple other deals in different stages like funding. I have to get financing. We'll walk through all that. I think you saw a lot of wood in the back. I actually got a little sauna built out. So let's go check that out first. The cool thing is because we're active in construction, I get to take all of the extra wood and I take it to my wood fire sauna. We're going to go check it out. We got the cold plunge. Other thing is I have hot and cold water, so I just got some off Amazon, which is pretty sick, so I can take outdoor showers as well. I got cold plunge shower, and then let's go to the sauna setup. And as always, you gotta have the sauna hat, not just the sauna hat. America, baby, let's go. I got a pretty darn good deal on Facebook. Somebody else shipped in a sauna. They didn't like it. They didn't like wood fired. They wanted to do the electric one. So I ended up getting it for 30 cents on the dollar of what it's worth. Long story short, great deal. Anyways, so I get to take the sauna, I hit it up to 200 degrees. I did it last night, cold plunge sauna. I do 3 sessions, 15 minutes at 200, and then my cold plunge is sitting at 53 degrees, which is awesome. I try to sit in it for about 3 minutes, maybe on weak sauce. And then I ended up getting a different trampoline for my son, so I got a rectangle one, so that we can fit both a sauna and then a trampoline for my son. So, all right, let's head out to the projects. All right, let's rock and roll. Sorry, I got some papers. See, part of the day in the life of a developer, I had to send out some wires for Fircrest. So the builder sent me all their invoices. I got 4 different buildings, 4 sheets of paper. The local credit union's not new school, they're a little old school, so I had to walk in for a wire, which is cool. I always get a lollipop for my kid. But yeah, so we sent out those wires. Let's get ready to rock and roll. All right, and it looks like, so that neighbor, there's 2 different developments. We started first. The neighbor here to the north is doing another 30 townhomes. And then the neighbor here to the south, I don't know what they're doing, but we'll even show you some really cool drone footage so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. But the neighbor there to the south, I was negotiating to buy that property. This one up here was negotiating for 900 grand. And that one right there was 600 grand. The one for 900 is 30 townhomes. I paid 700 for 27 townhomes, so it was a little bit more. I didn't want to end up paying a little bit more for that. Probably should have if I look back. And then the one for this one here for 650 is around 10 to 12 townhomes. I don't want to pay 650 for 10 townhomes when I paid 700 for 27. So it wasn't a good deal, but if I wanted to do 100 units or 80 units, I could have bought all 3 parcels and connected them all and done an entire subdivision. Looking back, I probably would have done that because this one was very good deal. That was a good deal, and then this was a bad deal, but combined, it was still a good deal. And I could have done about 80 townhomes would have been fun, 60 to 80. So 30, 27 would be 50, 60, and then because they're all together, I can move the roads around to make it more efficient. I could probably get about 75 plus or minus. But anyways, so it looks like they've already done all the prep work and we're laying the stone. The reason we decided to do stone is just to kind of give it a little different feel. You'll be able to see we have 4 different buildings, 4 different styles. So we'll kind of show you the exterior of each. But the first one, what we have is, I call it the panda look. The panda look is black and white. What I ended up doing is I gave it a lot of contrast. It kind of reminds me of a more modern feel. And City of Portland has kind of been doing this more often. The second building, I went for a farmhouse. So very white, a little bit of iron ore, which is that dark color, and a farmhouse board and bat siding. It's that vertical siding. Kind of gives it more of a homey feel. The third unit, I mixed it up. I did some browns. I had a neighbor drive by and say they didn't like it. The garages aren't painted yet, so it looks a little bit too much contrast. Once we paint the garage doors, it's gonna look really clean. Actually did Yukon, my other duplex, that same color, and a lot of people liked it. In fact, everybody voted they wanted, on social media, on Instagram, everyone voted they wanted me to do this darker color rather than the lighter mix. So I gave people 2 options and I went with what the people said. And then that last one is gonna be the one with stone. It's that last unit. We're thinking by the time we sell all these, that last one will be the premium, where we can maybe wait a little bit longer and get a little bit of a better price for it. And I love switching it up a little bit. Stone on this specific last unit cost us an additional $6,000. So it was more expensive. Siding was 500 bucks. This is 6,500, so 6 grand more. Not necessarily ideal, but it's only one of the units. I figured if we're doing all 8, 6,000 over 8 units, not a big deal. I didn't have to do it. It's probably not gonna get me much more. It'll probably get me 5 grand more for the purchase price, but it was more for design, and because I love the game, I wanted to make it a little bit nicer. Let's go check them out. Cool, so we're in the finishing stages of this building. We'll actually show you all the different options. So the Panda look, what I did is I did oak wood cabinets with black countertops. Then the farmhouse one, I did the painted, similar to these. The painted cabinets with white countertops, a little bit of a marble feel. And then this unit, I did the painted with the black countertop. Again, gives it a cool, different feel. And then the stone unit, the last unit, I did the oak with the white. So every building, I did a slightly different variation. No difference in cost, but why would I do all of them identical? I want everybody to have a little bit of a different feel or a different unit. So 2 units per different style. As you can see, this one, we did the black tops with the cream painted, and then we also did the nice gold handles. It definitely gives it a nice feel. So this one, we're in the finishing stages of the project. They've already got, electricians have got the lights in. As you can see, they unpackaged all the boxes. They got all the outlets going in. They're gonna finish up. Then we got the backsplash that we have, which is one of the last remaining items here. And we're basically wrapped up with this unit. We've got appliances left as well. So the HVAC is gonna install the microwave. The electrician's gonna install the range top and the fridge. And then fireplace is already in. So we're getting pretty close to wrapping up. All right, and one thing that we always do is when we start the landscaping process, we always call the fencing contractor and tell him to set his posts first. The reason we set the posts first is after we complete the landscaping, we don't want to come back and dig these holes and put posts in. So the fencing guy comes in, puts the posts. Landscaper, as you can see, is prepping everything. They're gonna get it all fully complete. Once the landscaper's done, the fencing guy's gonna come in and install all of the fence boards, and we're all wrapped up. It's super clean, it looks good. And again, we're in the last stage of this project as well as the nearby duplex. And so we should be all wrapped up here in the next couple of weeks, most likely 1 to 2 weeks. And we're ready to go live on the market with these as well. As a developer, you can see behind me, the neighbor is clearing the entire site. The stump grinder just pulled up. They cut all the trees down. They're gonna grind the stumps, and now they're ready. The next step is they're gonna start putting in all the utilities. Once that's done, they're gonna pave all the roads and they're ready to go vertical. I had to do all that work before I could get a single home going vertical on my project. So this is one of the finished units. This is the Panda look. Let's go check it out. It's that oak with black countertops, and it's staged and furnished so that a buyer can visualize and see how the unit's gonna look. Let's go check it out. We actually did a meetup here with all the local students for the mentorship. And so that was a lot of fun, and it was done right here. This is the one where we did the oak with the black. It just gives buyers a different feel. Like, this is my home. It's not the same as all the other ones. These are the little things that not necessarily cost more money, but you can see somebody paid attention. You're good. So typically a day in the life for me is I will stop by a job site. Mondays I stop by Fircrest, or any other days that require some design. Right now, actually, we should be getting prepped for the stone, if not already laying the stone for one of the units. And then I have Farragut, which is the 6-plex that we're working on. We just started the dig out, so I'm gonna be visiting that site maybe once a week. I don't even have to go out there once a week, but once every 2 weeks, I would say, when it's in construction. The most amount of time I will spend there is when we frame it up, and if I want to make any minor changes for design. I like to design. You don't have to. You can hire a designer to do it, but I enjoy that. So I got Farragut. And then Ashley, what's really cool is Ashley is a project that my student is involved in, and they are in that project and we're doing it together. So it's one of them is my student's build, one of them is our build. There are two $1.5 million spec homes and around 3,500 square feet. It's gonna be really, really nice, really cool homes. So I spend a lot of time designing that. I have a whole mood board. I'll show you guys, but I have an entire mood board of design that I'm putting together, everything from the entryway to the fireplace to the type of stone to the kitchen, what kind of tiles I'm going to be doing in all the bathrooms. So I have this whole inspiration board that I'm putting together, and I simply just get behind my computer and I think of ideas, but I also use Pinterest, gives me great ideas, and then I look at sold products. So I'll go to Redfin, I'll go to Zillow, I'll look at what is selling in that $1.5 to $2 million range and what are they doing. And a lot of times they're not doing much, they just do a few small things. So we're definitely gonna kind of go a little bit overboard on it because we wanna give somebody a really nice product, a really nice project. So that's Ashley, that's a really cool one that we're doing as well. And then I've got this, I've got a fourplex right now that I just got it's called a pre-issuance in the city of Portland, which essentially means the permits are approved. They're ready to go. The last step is to pay for the permits. That's literally it. Permit fees are gonna be around 40 to 50K. So I'm not paying them just yet. Why would I pay them if I'm not ready to close on my construction loan? So we own the land. I have a land loan on it, and it's called a bridge loan. A bridge loan is essentially, it's bridging the gap between when I purchase the land to when I need to get a construction loan in place. And so I have this bridge loan. I'm in the bridge loan around 7 months. It typically takes me 7 to 12 months to get permits approved. So this fourplex, 7-8 months in, we're all good to go. We can now refinance and get a construction loan to actually build this fourplex. So today what I'm gonna do is I'm going to be emailing all my different lenders. Typically I like to work with 2 to 3 lenders. Right now I have 2 lenders that hold all of my business. And so I'm gonna send it to 2 to 3 different lenders and get some term sheets. The term sheet is gonna be essentially feedback on the deal. So I'm gonna send them the budget, the plans, and the pro forma, and they're gonna take a look at that. And then what I'll do is I'll give them my comparables, like here's what I think it's worth, and they'll give me a term sheet based on that. Now, here's the thing. You tell them it's worth X amount per door, but it's not. The appraiser is going to give the real price. So I wouldn't fudge any of your numbers when it comes to values. Be realistic. I'm realistic. In this case, it's gonna be around $350 a door. I'm hoping I'm gonna get 400 per door. So 400 a door would be 1.6 million. But on the appraisal and everything, I'm assuming 350. I'm gonna come in at 350 and I'm gonna get my term sheets. What it's gonna have is gonna tell me what's my interest rate, how much cash do I need to close, what is the loan fees, lender fees, and anything else related to this project term. I always try to go for an 18-month loan just to have that extra cushion or extra time. So that's what I'm gonna be focused on. My main focus right now is getting this loan locked in place. It's gonna take me about 2 to 4 weeks to close. And I'm not necessarily in a rush because I'm 7-8 months into this when I projected 12. And so what I'll do is I'll get this financing. It's gonna take me 2 to 4 weeks. The appraisal takes the longest. And then I'll schedule it to begin the survey and excavation with the builder. And we're gonna be ready to rock and roll, and you're gonna see on social media, so you heard it here first, but you'll see on social media, they're gonna be called Kenton Townhomes. We're gonna be building a fourplex in the city of Portland, which is gonna be a lot of fun. And it's about 7 minutes away from Farragut. It's on the other side of the freeway. So that's kind of what we have going on. Almost missed the turn when it comes to my day. And then I always underwrite deals. I have about 10 deals that I got in my emails from different wholesalers and just people that know I'm active in the game. And so I've got about 10 deals I need to underwrite, see if any of them make sense and if there's any that we're gonna pick up. And then the other major thing for this, this is over 100 doors, so that's why it's a little bit more busy. But the other major thing is I'm trying to submit the land use application for 20 lots at Livingstone Meadows. And I was supposed to, the schedule was to have it done on Friday, and it wasn't. And so I'm gonna push to get it done end of this week. And so we're gonna push to get it done end of this week. We're about 7 days behind on that submittal, which is not a big deal. It takes about 4 months to submit. So if I'm 4 months in 1 week, not a huge deal. Most people, the average person that's not really in this game, will probably take a year to submit. So I push them pretty darn hard, and there's a reason for it, but it allows us to be where we are today because of that. So that's what I love, and I'm pushing hard. All right, guys, so for a day in the life, here's what it looks like back at the office. Today, I'm putting together the deal for the lender. And what I'm doing is, one, verifying all the comparables. Since I picked this deal up just about 8 months ago, I want to see what new activity happened in the area. And then two, I built a budget out based on another fourplex that I built. So I have this other fourplex. I pulled up my actual cost, and what I did is land, everything else. Construction was $171 per square foot for this fourplex. And then sale prices, so I use that as my kind of reference for construction prices, which construction's even cheaper today. And that's great. So I built out a budget. 171 was the cost. I put a budget together for 180 just to have some contingency. If I build it for 160, it's great. More profit, more money on the table. So got the budget. I'm sending some comps to the lender. I always do this just to show them like, hey, here's what I think. I'm sending them a full plan set, everything that's on the plan. So here's my plan set that I have for this project. As you can see, it's a fourplex. So we got this Kenton townhomes. You got the site plan, utility plan, elevations on all sides, first floor, second floor, and then the rest of the plans are structural, etc., how to build it. They need this as well, so I'm sending this to them, and I'm also got these comps. So I'm looking here, these type of units, 2-bed, 2-bath, are selling from $319, $400, $319, $525, $404. So in this pocket, this area, I think I can get an average of $400. That's what I'm going to let the lender know. Only reason I'm actually doing that is I mentioned earlier that you want to be realistic on values. Now that I think about it, and what I typically do is I've shown the comparables, I have them at that, and then I have my budget built out. The reason 400 is what I'm going to go with. If he says, oh, appraisal said it's 350, that's fine. I would rather shoot a little higher, let them come in lower. It just helps me on my leverage, where they're like, oh wow, the values are really good. The loan is only 70% of the total project. We're very comfortable funding this deal. Let's do it. So anyways, ran those, got all that, got this all set up, said, hey Josh, I got my permits approved for a fourplex. Land is 319. It's valued at 400 with the permits approved. So I have an extra 80K of equity. The appraisal is going to validate that. Last time I got it at 400, so they appraised it. What's cool is if I've got to put down, let's say 200K on this deal, I actually only have to put down 120 because they're going to use the 80K of equity in the land and reduce my down payment. Now my cash on this project's like over 250%. Phenomenal. I said ARV is 400K a door. Construction budget is 800,000. I think I could probably do it for 700, but 800 worst case, based on what I'm seeing. I'm always going to try to shoot lower, but I want to make sure I have enough budget in the construction to where I don't have to come out of pocket if something maybe unexpected goes on the project. And then gave them the square footage of the units, 1,050. Land loan is around 215 for the bridge loan, and I'm looking for a 12 to 18 month term. Everything looks good, and boom, it's off to the lender. I'll start with him. He's the best lender that I have right now. And then after I get his term sheets, if there's something I don't like, I will then go to the other two lenders as well. A lot of times I will do all three lenders. So I recently got a loan on Ashley. I had the 3 different lenders. I compared all their terms, so I don't necessarily have to send it to all 3. I'm going to send it to the lender that's been the most competitive recently, see where they come in, and then I might go and get that second or third lender term sheet, and from there I'll decide. It is also coming up to holidays, so I'm going to talk to the builder and see if it's worth breaking ground right now, meaning if in 3 weeks I close the loan, it's going to be Thanksgiving. Then between Thanksgiving and Christmas, most people are out of town. I can still most likely get excavation and foundation done, and then framing will probably happen New Year's. So not a big deal. I'm not really going to pay much interest. So I'll chat with the builder, kind of see what the thoughts are, because I could either wait a month and pay $2,000 of interest, not a big deal, and then close on the loan and go full speed, or I could just get started ASAP. In this case, again, I'm not necessarily pushing too hard because I will get this project built out in 6 months. 6 months is going to be March, April, May. Summer is a good time to sell, so I want to be ready for summer, which we will be. So that's kind of me behind here, and then I got my checklist of everything that I got to do. Includes this term sheet, and then I've got to submit some building plans for Fortress Phase 2.
I've got a couple other projects that I'm working on and a few deals that I got to underwrite. The other thing I do is I go to the Buildup app every single day. A lot of times I'll do it around lunchtime, and I'll run through all the communities. And so if somebody's asking about A2P, I'm going to get my team on it. I have specifically someone that focuses on that. Here's another one, house project in Wenatchee, Washington, septic tank approved, currently waiting on permits. House will be all permit approved. And I'll just tell Brandon, love it, Brandon. And I'll ask him if he's going to be building it or is he wholesaling, because we can look at this deal. Why not? Are you building it for yourself or to sell? Or are you wholesaling it? How's the performa? How's the performa look? All right. And guys, if you want to join, I'm here every single day, always doing it. So just responded, see what's going on there. But the app is called Buildup. You can just look it up on the App Store. And what's really cool is on this app, we have a community that you can join. We have over 20,700 members. Then if you sign up for any of our education or mentorship, you'll have access to deal finders, how I find my off-market deals and wholesale them for a fee. First time builder is how I build homes. It's not even for a first time builder, but just how to build homes in general. And then I've got those weekly mentorship calls if you're part of that, but I'll just show you, for example, first time builder, pretty cool. I'm really impressed. We built out a whole app. Ruben is really the guy that built this app out. So he's the genius behind it. But as you can see, we've got all of these lessons, and what you can do is break down introduction. You got the 7-step process. Then you got how to find a lot. You've got a lot of lessons here because there's literally 20 different ways to do this. I'm gonna put on do not disturb. Jeez Louise. So you can stick to one method, but I give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different ways to find land and underwrite it. And then underwriting is step 2. I give you how to run the numbers, underwrite like a developer, utility, slopes, zoning, how to find the value, build out a construction budget, how to sign a contract, and 4 live Zoom calls of me locking up deals with my students and running the numbers. Step 3, plans and design. I give you everything that I have in the plans. Permits. Step 5 is financing. I go through all the different ways to finance, long-term contracts, seller financing, construction, how you can build it out, build out the home yourself, or you can hire a builder. And then step 7 is that sales process. So that's just one of the education platforms. You can hit the link if you're interested in this. Hit that link below, either the education platform or the mentorship, where you actually get a group chat with me. So I have different students. For example, I've got Eddie, and this is me right now, texting him back and forth. I'm sending him different things. He's looking at doing some flips. He sold an HVAC business, and he's looking to do some wholesale flips and new construction, helping him out with all of that. So that's the app, really cool. You can join, it's really cool. Just build up right there. You hit the App Store, Android or iPhone. And yeah, that's another part of my day.
All right, guys, that's a wrap on the day. Real estate development, honestly, it changed my life. It changed the way that I think about the new construction game. When I used to drive those neighborhoods, I'm like, man, how are these builders doing it? I'm not a construction guy. I was never I can build something from scratch or by hand. But I realized that you don't actually need to know the game. You need to know the people, and you need to know the puzzle pieces. Ironically, a lot of these builders don't actually know how to find deals. They don't understand how to underwrite. They don't know how to get these loans together, assemble the deal, assemble the team, and execute. They're just good at their craft, like the foundation guy, the guy that poured the foundation here. When we talk to him, he's been doing it for 20 years, but all he knows is foundation. So the key is you understand how to put this team together and absolutely crush it. When I used to flip cars and I would have to do 40 to 50 cars a year, I realized all you have to do is build 1 to 2 homes a year, and it's life-changing. So I appreciate y'all. I hope you enjoyed the day in the life of the developer. Like, share, subscribe, and comment below if you want to see something different, if you have any questions, or what you want to see on the next video.